Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here at NAB 2024, and this is David Dowling from Pixotope. David, welcome.
Thank you very much, Randy. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So why don't you start off by telling people first what you do job-wise, but also what Pixotope does and how it can help them.
Okay, so my name's David Dowling. I'm Chief Revenue Officer for Pixotope Technologies.
So, but that's not, I was just talking to somebody else and I'm like, nobody's job title is actually what they do. So what do you do?
What do I do?
Yes. Okay.
Not what do I do, but what do I do?
What do you do? Yes.
So, very simply, I run sales and marketing for Pixotope. I do that globally. I have a lot of help, as you can imagine, and we run out of sort of several offices around the world, Singapore, in Oslo, in the US, in Thailand. We're looking more into places like Sydney. We see that as a good area to get involved with, and obviously we've got quite a few people based in the UK, including myself.
So tell people what Pixotope is, and then I have questions about some of the events that you have been involved in, including some of the football stuff.
Sure. So Pixotope is a virtual production solution platform, which encompasses traditional sort of green screen studios, virtual studios, augmented reality, and extended reality, so XR. And we also do now graphics, so character generators, and of course tracking.
So, as I mentioned, the American football thing, I know that you guys are able to sort of incorporate, I guess, is it the animated football guy that comes running in? So explain how they use that and how they use your tool to create that.
So, I mean, it's really interesting. We're used by people like CBS Sports in conjunction with Silver Spoon. So this year we did the Super Bowl and we did 2 streams. We did, the traditional sort of Super Bowl coverage, and we also did the Nickelodeon Super Bowl coverage. So we had SpongeBob SquarePants sort of there as an AR element. But then, on the traditional side, we had scores and we had sort of various AR elements that tell the story to your more traditional viewer. And then you had some, with the Nickelodeon one, you had it so that it was engaging the younger viewers. So it's interesting, that's a really good example because you're sort of telling 2 different stories to do 2 different types of viewership and looking for the same kind of engagement.
So virtual production, it's been around for a bit, but there are people is it better? Are there more people now that can work in virtual production, or are you still sort of working on some education initiatives to get more people trained?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So what we tend to do is, because we use the Unreal Engine, we're seeing a lot more people coming through and able to do that content design work. And really what makes virtual production is the design work that goes behind it. However, what we're finding is that we're seeing a lot of these students sort of turning right and going to game design, and we're very much wanting them to turn left and come into virtual production and come into our world, come into the broadcast world.
Sure.
So what we've done is we've created a Pixotope education program. We've actually sort of in an effort to really sort of get people sort of engaged, get the students engaged, we've created something called Pixotope Pocket, which allows you to incorporate video and tracking data all with a mobile phone or a cell phone, as you guys call it. And what that effectively means is that these students can go into their dorms. They're not having to wait for studio time. They're not having to wait for sort of server time. And they're not having to sort of get expensive cameras. And they can do experiments in their dorms just using their own sort of hardware, their own PCs, because much of what Pixotope runs on is effectively sort of gaming PC technology. And we're finding already we have 16 universities. We've been running this for just over a year now. I think we announced it at NAB 2023. And we've now got 16 universities who are actively using this. And actually just recently, in an effort to get the rest of the industry trained, so people already in the industry, we've made this available, we've made Pixotope Pocket available to the entire industry. So anybody that owns a Pixotope machine, a Pixotope sort of solution, can also download Pixotope Pocket. So they can use it for trials, for tests, and some people are using it for pre-visualization. So they're actually putting it on top of the camera, so the camera operator can see, the AR elements that they're pointing at.
That's pretty cool. So you're here. Anything new with the product?
Gosh, there's a lot of new things coming out now. We've worked really hard this past sort of 6 months. As you may be aware, sort of Epic has released their motion graphics character generator system, and we've incorporated that into Pixotope. So we've got the first version out there. We've literally just sold it to a large European broadcaster, and we'll be rolling that out over the next 12 months to them. So we're very excited about that. We've also announced a strategic partnership with the Resource Studio, again enabling us to sort of start to sort of integrate into newsroom computer systems. We now can supply sort of Pixotope with the MOS gateway. So we're really sort of doing those integrations into that traditional CG market, which our users are demanding. And then finally, I guess sort of the just one more thing. Is that we've developed a virtual green screen. So that's using AI. It's an AI Kia, AI chroma Kia, and it basically means that you don't have to sit in a green box anymore. Now, we spoke about football earlier. A huge use case for this is rear replacement. So instead of having a blank wall, you can actually put graphics on there. You can put AR elements in there. So again, something that can tell a story, something that can sort of enhance the look and feel of a.
Can you use it for driving plates?
You can. Yeah, I mean that's something that we're looking at the moment as another use case. At the moment it's purely a POC available to be looked at in our tech den, but we're looking to have this sort of as a productized system by the end of the summer.
David, thank you so much for coming. It was really great chatting with you.
Thank you, Randy.